Let me ask you something. Can a massive stone pillar carved back in the 16th century just float? I mean, completely refusing to touch the ground, as if gravity just decided to take a day off for this one spot?
And get this, what if I told you that in the exact same region, there's a place so huge, so absolutely epic, that people call it the Grand Canyon of India?
Look, these places, they sound like they're straight out of a movie, right? But they're not. They are very, very real, and you can find them all in one incredible state. Today, we're diving into Andhra Pradesh, a land that's this amazing mix of ancient mysteries and, believe it or not, a modern-day powerhouse. So, let's get our bearings. Where are we talking about? Andhra Pradesh is a major state in southeastern India, right on the Deccan Peninsula, and it has this massive, nearly 1,000-kilometer coastline. Now, you got to remember that coastline, because it's absolutely central to its story both way back when and right now.
All right, let's jump right in, because honestly, some of these places, you just have to see them to believe them. We're going to start with the sites that look like they were pulled straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster.
We're looking at a trilogy of absolute wonders here. First, that gravity-defying pillar. Then, a colossal canyon carved out by a river. And finally, a single tree. That is, no joke, the largest of its kind on the entire planet.
Okay, first up, the Hanging Pillar of Lapakshi. So you walk into this temple, the Virabhadra temple, and you see all these stone pillars, but one of them, it just doesn't touch the ground. There's a real visible gap. For hundreds of years, people have been sliding a piece of paper or a thin cloth right under it just to prove it's really actually suspended. So how? How is that even possible? Is it some kind of architectural miracle? Or maybe just a brilliant mistake? You know, this quote really sums up the awe it inspires. It's seen as this incredible testament to the genius, maybe even a lost genius, of the people who built it, the Vijayanagara artisans.
All right, next up is the absolutely breathtaking Gandukota. And when they call it the Grand Canyon of India, they are not exaggerating. This is where the Pennar River has literally spent millennia just carving its way through these huge red sandstone cliffs. It's just raw, powerful nature doing its thing on a monumental scale.
And now for our last wonder. I just want you to think about this number for a second. 4.7 acres. Now that's not a park. It's not a small forest. That's the size of the canopy of one single tree. The Thimama Marimanu banyan. It's literally in the Guinness World Records as the biggest tree on Earth. Standing under it must be like entering another world, this huge, shaded universe, held up by thousands of roots, all from one original trunk.
So when you see stuff like this, you just know there's got to be a deep, influential history behind it all, right? Let's dig into that legacy. And wow, the roots here go way, way back. We're talking about the Andhras, the people from this area, being mentioned in ancient Vedic texts from 800 BCE. From the rise of great dynasties like the Satavahanas all the way to the Vijayanagara Empire. Yep, the same guys who built that hanging pillar. This place has had a recorded identity stretching back nearly 3,000 years. But here's the thing. This history of leadership and influence, it didn't just stop in the ancient world. Nope, it carries on right into our modern times, and in a way that's, well, it's pretty surprising when you look at the numbers.
Check this out. Of all the states in India, Andhra Pradesh has produced the most presidents. 3 individuals who held the nation's highest office, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, V.V. Giri, and Neelam Sanjeev Reddy, all hailed from this region. That is a stunning political distinction, and it really speaks to a history of influence that also shaped its economic destiny.
And that brings us right to its modern identity. Because this ancient land, it's also a serious economic titan today. And its whole economic story, it really starts right at that coastline we talked about. Okay, I'm just going to let this number sit here for a moment because it tells a massive story. 70%. That is the share of India's entire shrimp production that comes from this one single state. 70%. That's huge.
I mean, this visual just shows you the sheer dominance. Andhra Pradesh isn't just a player in India's aquaculture. For all intents and purposes, it is the market. That 1,000-kilometer coastline isn't just scenic, it's the engine of a global food supply chain.
But the state's strategy didn't stop there. They made this brilliant pivot from natural resources into high technology. So they leveraged their coastline for aquaculture, then they built a huge pharmaceutical sector, and then this was the game changer. They established the Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone. This became a critical hub for making advanced medical devices, and it ended up supplying over 80 countries.
This table really sums up that dual-engine economy perfectly. On one side, you've got aquaculture, making the state a global anchor for food security. On the other, medtech, providing critical health resilience for the entire nation and beyond.
Now, whenever a place is this extraordinary, you know some stories are going to get a little exaggerated online, right? So to really get the true picture, we got to separate the viral hype from the reality. And honestly, the reality is often even more impressive. Okay, let's take Lambasingi, often called the Kashmir of Andhra Pradesh. The viral claim is that it's the only place in South India with actual snowfall. The reality? Its high elevation leads to frigid temperatures and a thick, heavy frost that blankets the landscape, creating a stunning snow-like illusion. So while it's not literal snow, it is a uniquely beautiful microclimate.
Here's another important clarification, this one about Ramoji Film City, the world's largest film studio. It is a celebrated, vital part of the Telugu cultural legacy of this region. However, just for the sake of accuracy, it's worth noting that after the state was divided in 2014, the studio's physical location is now in the new state of Telangana.
So, when you put it all together, what do you get? You get this land of fascinating contrasts. A place where ancient architectural mysteries that still stump engineers exist side by side with cutting-edge facilities producing life-saving medical technology for the world. I think this phrase just nails it. It is a true nexus of ancient ambition and modern power. It feels like the same drive that built those incredible empires is the very same thing that's now fueling its economic and technological leadership. Which really just leaves us with one big question, doesn't it? In a land that has mastered both ancient gravity-defying pillars and modern, complex global supply chains, what other secrets are still waiting to be discovered?